darn cute. Okay, good morning, everybody, and it's a Santa morning. Santa with Penny.
Yeah.
And look at, she's got her coffee. What a cool cup.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, is it plastic or ceramic?
No, it's ceramic.
Ceramic. Oh my gosh, I love that cup.
That way I can heat it in the microwave many times.
Well, that does help. We do find gaps in our microwave quite often. Okay. We got to say hello to Lisa, Penny, because she's the first one that shows on our screen.
Good morning, Lisa.
And we got Janet here. We love having Janet here.
Oh, our linker and drinker.
Yep. I wonder if she's drinking in a cup like yours. Maybe. And we got Janet number 2. Got another Janet. Angie's here. And you guys, so is Santa Claus. He's here also. And we're going to show you some coloring tricks with this really cute stamp from Creative Expressions. And when this came in, it's called Saint Nick. When it came in, I told Penny, I said, this is you for sure. And she loved it. And I sure appreciate that, Penny. So, and it's nice. It's big. Like, look at him in the car.
Yeah.
It's $20.99. I'm going to give you a heads up right now. We went to order more and we were not able to get more. So we have 10. And I apologize. I don't like doing demos, especially as extensive as Penny has worked really hard on this and only have 10 stamp sets. So I guess when they're gone, they're gone. But Penny tells me she has all kinds of techniques to show us. And we're going to learn how to what? Color cars?
Yeah, we're going to color cars and bricks.
Bricks and cars, and she's got lots of color combinations.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
But before we do that, we want to make a couple announcements.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I know. Isn't that great?
Yeah,
we have announcements.
It's great.
We are in the middle of setting up for our holiday open house, and we will take you on a tour on it. If not tomorrow, we will Thursday. We'll see how ready it is. But we've had to flip the entire store. So I want to personally thank all the Memory Bound staff that has worked over the weekend and yesterday and coming in the rest of this week, because everyone's working so darn hard to get everything moved around and get it set up for our big holiday event. It's like one of our biggest weekends of the year. So, and it is a lot of work. And Maggie's over there right now working away and rearranging. Because you know how it is, Penny, when you're decorating or organizing, you do something and then you undo it and move it.
Yep, and you move it 3 times.
Exactly.
And then other things get moved 4 times. And we're setting up for open house for Christmas, but at the same time,
it's Halloween.
It's Halloween.
Well, and thank you, Penny, for saying that, because I want to let everybody know that our Halloween category is 30% off through Halloween. So through the 31st, it's 30% off. And we're just going to go take a quick look at that. So I'm going to come up here and just show you, because we have moved Halloween. The staff worked really hard on that yesterday also. And on the weekend, we did some moving. So that includes Scary Stories from Simple Stories. And I think we have everything available in this collection. And then also Creeping It Real. And actually, Creeping It Real and Scary Stories look really great together. I was going to say really great together, because they both have the orange and the black and then the teal accent. So those are a couple collections that are on special. And you can see there's a really good selection of that. And they're 30% off. We don't even have signs up yet. And then if we come around the corner, this used to be in the front of our store, and now it's got its little home over here on the side. So it would include the really cute little boo thing, which is the pinks. It includes all these die cuts. If you're doing a Halloween layout, you know how so many people have those great big skeletons in their yard? Well, this is a 12-inch skeleton, and if you were taking pictures of something like that or going around looking at Halloween decorations, that would be really wonderful. And it's normally $3.99, so it would be 30% off. We have lots of stamps and dies, and there's just probably no way that we could show you everything, but here's a couple little gems from Hero Arts.
Morning.
And we've got some more die cuts here.
Okay.
Which the 12-inch ones are really nice for your scrapbook layouts, because they are your title. We've got the Lawn Fawn, the little cauldron. We've got one of those left, and a couple of the Happy Halloween dies from Lawn Fawn.
If we only have 10 stamps.
And if you are into the postage
not
collage
here,
from
and I'm
Waffle
not
Flower.
here,
We
and-
have one of the spider stamps left.
Okay,
that fit
there's
in
one
those
ready
little
to print now,
spaces.
so.
And then we do have the little images also. And then look at the spider with the giant Google eyes. And then from Spellbinders, we have a couple of die sets. We've got the accessories with the witch hat, which you could use that on some of your other die cuts. And then this one I think is just wonderful. It's got the hand, the skeleton hand, and then some other accessories. And we're up here in the window. That's why we have a glare, everybody. And then if you like Frank Garcia, he had a really great collection this year for Halloween called Magic Spell. And we just got replenished on that, so we have a lot of Magic Spell, and it's all 30% off. This is probably my favorite paper right here, and that's called Spider Webs. And then we have a couple of collections from Echo Park in Cartabella. We have Spooktacular Halloween. And then the other one we have from Cartabella is called Halloween Fun. And they both have your basic orange and black for your coloring. And Spooktacular has that little hint of a mint, I'm going to call it a mint teal.
Oh, that's not a bad
And then,
idea.
you know, our sale does include Tim Holtz.
Yep.
So the Tim Holtz Halloween dies are 30% off. And that includes the new Vault die. And we've got some from last year that it includes the moon, which I know everybody loves that. And the other Vault die that's got the coffin and the font. And those are all 30% off. And you guys, we have one Halloween die from Elizabeth Crafts. So if you like Halloween and you like Elizabeth Crafts, we have one left. And oh no, there's two here. One style and two left. And this one is called Planner Essentials Halloween Set 3. So it's got the pumpkin reinforcers, which are really cute. And then it's got your witch and the candelabra and a crow and that spiderweb page, which does not have the holes in it. So you could use that for a lot of different things. Okay, and then I think what a lot of you, our Tim Holtz fans, find very exciting is the Tim Holtz Halloween stencils and stamps and ideology is also 30% off. So if you're working on your Halloween projects and you love Tim Holtz, I'll give you a little peek at what we have left in this category. So we've got the tinsel, the fringe. We've got a couple left of the little graveyard. Some collage paper. We've got the lights, the candles. My favorite is the little confections and the trick or treat and the bones. I think those are all really fun. And then we do have the stencils. And I have this one at home. I just think it's a lot of fun. The bats. And this one is the bones. It's called Bones. Those are both from this year. And then we do have the set number 61. We have that in stock, and then these little pumpkins are from this year also. And then we have this year's stamps, and these are all 30% off. And we have a few from last year. There's a whole category under our new section of Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous that has this year's and previous years. We have the backdrops and the collage strips, and oh gosh, we've got those baseboards, which I've been seeing on a lot of makes. And here's the stamp set that Teresa used yesterday. It's called Tiny Frights. And she's used that quite a bit. That's a really popular one. And Halloween Sketchbook. So check it out. Check out our sale on Halloween. It goes through Halloween. And then we're going to spin around back here. There's Maggie working away back here for our holiday open house. It's a huge job, everybody, and I sure appreciate everyone's help with it. All right, now I haven't looked at any questions. Janet's been doing some linking for us, so thank you, Janet. That's not an easy thing. If you have any questions about the Halloween sale, just give us a call. And now I think we're going to go from Halloween to Santa. Penny, are you ready? So let's see what Penny has for us. And welcome, everybody. Glad you're joining us here at Memory Bound. We're back in the corner. We're going to be back here for a bit because of our holiday open house. Takes up our studio and then some.
Then.
And we have specials coming up this weekend for our holiday open house. But right now our specials is Halloween. And then for every $50 purchase, we have a free magazine from Scrapbook and Cards today. And we have a few of these left. So if you place an order, and it does not include shipping. So if you're ordering online, your $50 is before shipping. So that's a nice magazine. I had a look at it the other night, Penny, and it's got lots of good ideas. It's got a cute little girl dressed up as a witch on the front, but it's got lots of Christmas ideas on the inside.
Very nice.
Okay, I'm kind of wore out now, so I'll let you take over.
Okay, have a seat.
Oh, my microphone's way down in my shirt, so I hope
mine
people
was
can
left
hear me.
on when you. So I turned it off after a nice note from a friend. Oops, sorry.
Was Penny talking during all of that?
I was. I wanted
Okay.
to make sure that we've kept up on web orders.
Oh, is somebody printing web orders? Okay.
Well,
Because Doug's gone.
yeah.
You guys,
And
Doug,
I'm not there.
Doug left for the morning. He's taking his mother to get her a new iPhone.
So
Okay. All right. Diane just came up and we were whispering.
yes, we were
The whisperer.
because we want to make sure that
So we
first come, first serve. We only
so
have
this
10.
this stamp set, because it is very limited, it's available via a phone call. And so if you really want this, or anytime during the video, give us a call here at Memory Bound. Janet can put in our phone number in the comments for you. I'm not one to like say a phone number, over and over, Penny. So it's easier if you can just read it in the comments and she'll give it to you. And so if you want Penny stamp, I just heard the phone ring. If you want Penny stamp, call us, and that way we won't oversell it. We're kind of nervous about overselling it.
We hate
don't
doing
want to
that.
disappoint
Just
anybody.
hate doing that.
Okay. All right, Penny.
All
Oh,
right.
Donna said she just ordered it online.
That's
So,
okay. She'll
Donna-
get it.
Diane's working on that. Thank you, Janet. And you guys, I apologize for this problem with this stamp set. It's a really good one.
It is a good one.
Who would have known that it would not be available? Because we got it in and we reordered it right away.
Yeah.
It came in and I'm like, Penny. That's a Penny stamp. And we went and ordered, and I had to wait a day till I saw you, Penny, to make sure it was a Penny stamp. And it was. It is. So, all right. All right, well, let's go. Let's roll, because we got a lot of cool stuff that Penny's done to show us today. Look at all her notes, you guys.
Oh yeah. This is.
She worked really hard on this.
You go to Pinterest and you try to get some ideas, and then you got to write them down because otherwise, and then this is like almost orderly. So I'm kind of impressed with these notes.
I'm very impressed.
And I'm
they're
gonna keep
asking the
them.
price. The stamp is $20.99.
Yeah. And you get all these little guys, and the mustache cracks me up.
I will try another vendor, but our normal vendor we couldn't get. All right, I'm sorry. I'm going to quit interrupting. Tell me, the mustache.
The mustache is really fun.
It is really cute.
And you can always add detail to the presents, to the to the shirt, to the sleeves, and you're going to see that in a little bit in a couple.
So it actually has, how many Santas are on the stamp?
4.
Oh,
There's
so it's not
4
just one. There's
Santas.
4 different ones.
He's got the same face, and he either has a hat on or he's bald. So that's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But the sentiments are so great.
What are the sentiments?
Oh,
I
what
guess?
fun. Joy to the world, sending joy and cheer. Ho, 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 all is bright, making spirits bright. Peace on earth. Now, peace on earth goes with the Santa, because he's got the peace fingers up.
Oh, okay. Yep. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have even noticed that.
So
Very, very cute.
that
oh
was,
my gosh.
and oh, what fun, is going to go with Santa Claus. And that's going to be my segue into my actual coloring.
Okay, here we
So,
go. Oh, what fun.
Oh, what fun.
so he's ice skating.
He
Okay.
He is ice skating. And so what I did with this one is, and I want it to kind of shine. Because
It is shining.
Now, what creates shine, Kelly?
I don't know. I want to know how you did this.
Because you're not
That
gonna
caught my
see-
eye.
You're not going to see the shine up here. Because this is the sky, traditional
Can I touch
sky.
it?
Yes, you may touch it. By touching it, you're going to know what it is.
There's something different there.
Yeah, there is something different there. It's called acetate.
Oh, it's acetate?
It is acetate. And I used the liquid Nuvo, and I did a thin line down the side of each side, and I very carefully lined it up. This was so cool. It lined up right next to my border of where the sky meets the water, and it just fit perfectly. I cut off the bottom.
Oh my gosh, so you just colored acetate and made
No,
it...
I colored the paper. I just put acetate
Oh,
on the top.
acetate's over the top.
But then, of course, I did a Kelly. I had to add the
I
wobble.
love the wobble, especially skating. That would be me wobbling right there, Penny.
Now, adding a wobble and then having a shadow. This is the shadow of the Santa. So this is what's grounding him, the reflection of Santa in the water, in the ice. So
I didn't realize that was acetate just over the top of your coloring. Oh my
Yes.
God. So if you wanted to do any kind of ice or swimming pool look,
yes.
you just color and then put acetate over it. Penny, awesome tip.
So there's my first tip. So then we're going to go back to the first thing that I did was I colored Santas. So I had stamped using that 12 by 12 Misty technique I showed you last week.
Oh, yes.
I concentrated on Santa. You know, what are some traditional reds, and then I wanted to do a burgundy, and then I decided that, well, maybe we need to do an untraditional color, and so that was like my scraps, and that was like I wasn't liking it until I came across this combination.
Oh my gosh.
And basically this is an E series, the E41 series, 4-1, 4-3, and 4-4, which is kind of, I don't know even what colors they call that. And I know I've got one out here on my table.
So
It's kind of like the ivories. Each E series has kind of a name, but I forget what it is. Anyway, I used an oval stencil and stormy sky to give just a little quick pond. And then I just used a C3 to add a little
Just
lines,
drew the lines.
Just to ground him.
Oh
and
my
I used a little
gosh.
pop dots. And I picked 2 plaids with solid-ish backgrounds to do all of my demo work. And this one is the Yuletide, and I used the plaid and then the red and then the green, which would the more solidy. Now, this red is called pomegranate. It's got a design on one side, subtle, and then more of the
my
plain on the
gosh.
other.
we love
And
our
it-
simple stories, simple vintage.
It just goes so well with that plaid and with the green, and
So
it's
the
kind
green-
of a traditional.
So the green on this card was also from Yuletide.
Yeah. And so this one
You're doing good at reaching that stuff, Penny.
is called Spruce, and I used the pattern side on this one. It just looks really well with the brown.
does.
And then the other side is the more solid with some speckles on it, which is really fun. So that's
So Yuletide, spruce and pomegranate.
Yep. So that was really fun. So those are Santas.
Well, and we have the oval stencil. I think we have a couple of those ovals left that we used on the spotlight coloring. And Janet can probably link the oval stencil for us if you would like. You could also use an oval die and cut your own stencil from
Yes.
a piece of cardstock or something.
Yep. So, and then you're going to see all of the Santa's coloring in all of the cards. Now, and I told Kelly, the bad thing about a lot of these is like the car has so many
Penny usually has
details.
sheets about half that size or smaller.
Yeah, they're too big for tags, so I just left them as is. So after I played around with the Santa, I decided I'd play around with the cars. So this is what I did first. I do it, so I colored the car and I made notes as we go. So this is how I start. And once I get it like a technique, the way I like the shadowing and everything, then I try different colors. So with friend's suggestion, I tried a blue, a pink, a blue-green, and a purple, and those color combinations are there. 3 to 4 markers really need to be used when we come with this. And
Is
then,
it because it's a bigger space, Penny?
yes. Yep. It's a bigger space. And then I did the neutral, like the gray with this one. And the very first one I did, it was this yellow-green car. But then I didn't like it with the traditional green.
Oh, the tree?
Yeah, the tree. So I decided that when I did the real one for a card front with that pomegranate background, I'd do a white tree. And so, you know, all of the different things.
Now we need to, Penny, we love all this, and there might be people here that don't know what Copic markers are. So we need to just interrupt the cars for just a second.
Sure.
Sorry, we had a question.
Sure.
You want to just give a brief
Sure.
little explanation?
Copic markers are an alcohol-based marker. They have their own unique numbering system. And
Penny, while you tell about it, you keep talking. I'm going to
Okay.
go up and show them, okay?
okay. All right. So, like the marker that I used in several different things is like an E19, and E stands for the earth tones, so AKA the browns. The grays, we have 4 letters for them: the cools, the warms, the neutrals, and the toners. So the first letter, or the first 2 letters, would be the color family. So a YG would be a yellow-green. A G would just be green. So you kind of get the idea. Then the numbers behind it deal with how much color and how much gray. So how much intensity is the color, and then how saturated is the color with how much gray is in it. So the smaller the number, the lighter and more pure the color. The higher the number, the more saturated it is with gray. So a Y00 is pretty pure, and then the Y69 is a darker color, very saturated with gray. Does that make sense?
Penny, thank you. That was a great explanation.
Now, one way to figure out which markers you're going to use would be in a color sequence if you skip one. So in my Santa, in my beard coloring, I would use the series C00, C3, C1. From C00 to C1, I've skipped over the C00, or the C0. From C1 to C3, I'm skipping over the C2 because I want more of a contrast. Now, coloring a beard is hard for you to see on screen because it's white, but this is, I'm going to show you.
Okay.
So here's Santa and his beard. So you're going to start up here next to his head and do his hair. And then you're going to reach up here and do these little handlebar mustaches.
I know, he's cute.
Don't color his nose. And just, you know, do a quick swish, quick flicks, and get color down there.
You can see it on the camera, Penny.
Oh, good.
So I think people can see it.
All right.
C00.
So that's 0. Then C3. Now I'm going to use this gray line because that's where my brush nib is. If it's not a gray line, that's the chisel nib for big areas. So that's the difference. So grabbing that gray line, and I'm going to use C3, and I'm going to use just a little detail to the beard. So that the hairs are going swoosh over this way. So I'm going to do a quick, real up there on that tip. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to come up here to the handlebars. And I'm going to go 1, 2 over here, 1, 2 over there. That's all I'm going to do. Then I'm going to grab 2 down from that, the C1, And I'm going to put some more in, kind of fill it up. Different lengths, different widths. Okay, and then I'm going to go right back.
Hey, Diane.
To the C00.
Can you get us all the acetate options? Can you get us the acetate options?
And then I'm going to just color it all in again real quickly because I want the ink to go out and spread and soften the lines, because usually lines in hair are soft.
And it is funny, Penny, how the colors are going to keep moving when you're done coloring.
Oh yeah.
To me, that's what's amazing about the markers.
And sometimes you just have to get up and reheat the coffee and let the markers do their things, which is sometimes a good deal. So this is the detail provided when you skip markers by 2. Another way of picking markers is what they call the 10+2 method.
Oh, what is that? I've not heard that, Penny.
All right. Now, I have to think. I have to think, because that is with my reds, and that.
Do you need to think about it? I can talk about acetate and answer some questions.
Yes, you talk about acetate.
We have a question about acetate, and Diane is getting us our acetate options, so I'm going to talk acetate, okay?
Okay.
So we have lots of different options for acetate. This is an 8.5 by 11, and this is going to be very thin. The 004 is very thin, which would probably work just fine putting on a card front. And that has 6 sheets, and it is $6.99. We need to have a category that's just acetate. And then we have, this is what I would call a regular sheet. And you can't see it. You can't see it.
Yeah, that's what I have right here.
Here. Oh, that's okay. Penny
it's on
has
the table.
One of these. This is what I would call a regular, and it looks a little cloudy because it does have a coating on it. And this is $2.29, and then we have a heavyweight. I'll pass that off to Penny. Then we have a heavyweight that's $2.49.
Just like in boxing. And I would not recommend that one.
Not for cards.
Not for cards, heavy. But just in general, it's a really nice one.
This is what we use when we use that Tim Holtz tray. It's called a vignette panel, I think is the name of it. It's 9 by 9, and we have a sheet of this sitting. We decorate it and then have a sheet of this sitting over the top of it. And again, it has a coating on it also. And then remember that 004. Oh, Diane, she's magic.
Man, she's on it.
Okay, if you're doing Merrymakers, look what Peggy made for us. So this is that Tim Holtz 9 by 9 tray, and it's got the heavy acetate in it. You can see when I turn it. But Peggy cut out all these flowers that come in your Merrymakers kit. This is leftover paper, and we're ready to go for our weekend to put all our little supplies on there. So thank you, Peggy, for that.
I haven't done this yet. I really need to do this.
It's really fun. Here's the 004. It's got 6 pieces in it. Again, that's the really thin. I think this would work for you, though.
Oh, yeah.
On a card front.
Yep, most definitely.
And then we have the 010, which is what I call the regular. It comes in 4 pieces in the 12 by 12. And then we also have the 020, which is the heavy that I showed you. They're talking about how this is good for ornaments or albums or favor boxes. This is I think it's too heavy for a card front.
Yeah, I would think so.
So we do have a lot of options. Thank you. Penny's arms are full, because if you're just joining us, we're back here in this little corner.
I'm thinking thin.
So it comes in single sheets. It comes in packs. They're asking about the most common color Copics used, and I think okay. Penny, question for Penny. Do you or would you put together the most common Copics used, and when you are doing blends, do you say W1, W3, W5? How apart are the numbers? I think that's what you're kind of talking about right now.
Yes.
And there is no die for this stamp set.
No, you get to fussy cut.
You can
great.
fussy cut. And Penny did a lot of fussy cutting.
I did.
Get good scissors, like the
coil,
the Tim Holtz new recoil scissors,
the little ones,
or the EK6S.
They are my friend.
I'm looking to see if we have any other questions. Oh, and they asked about how you attached it. And Penny put a thin line
Nouveau.
of Nouveau glue, the
Yep.
Nouveau Deluxe liquid glue, just around the edge. So that was a very good question.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back. We got all our questions answered.
Okay. The other rule is 10 plus 2.
Whatever. I've not heard that, so I'm very curious
So,
about it.
if I'm using, and I did use E07 in my bricks, then 10 would be E17.
Okay,
plus,
wait. It's kind of glaring.
plus 2 would be E19.
Okay, you'll have to say that again.
Okay. E07 is my starting color. And I want to be able to blend.
Sorry about the blur. I just can't get it focused. Okay.
If I want it to blend well with another E, I would want to go 10 plus 2. Well, this one is E, so 7 plus 12 is 19. That's E19. So let me show you, just on a piece of scratch paper.
That's not at all what I had learned, so that's interesting. No.
Here, it's just another way. So here is E07, and I'm going to add that
because these are E's. Okay.
E19.
Oh, it does look good.
And then if you wanted to blend it out.
Oh, yes. I like that, Penny. I've never heard that before. It's very interesting.
So that is another way. There are natural sequences, like in the blue, B00, B02. There is no B01. Oh, there is. There is. Sorry, I misspoke. And then I skipped over the B04 to get to B06.
Sometimes they're so close in color that you have more flexibility and you'll be able to do more things if you skip a number.
Right.
That's what I think anyway.
Yep. So I'm just trying to see so there's a 2, a 4, there is a 5, but the 5 is really bright. So I didn't want to do the 5. I wanted to go to the 6 because it's a little bit softer. And then the B24, that's the deepest, darkest shade. That's what I wanted to use to accent it. And it works really well because the 4 is less than the 6. So it's going to work well. Now, if it was B29, it's not going to work because it's going to be too dark and you're not going to be able to blend it out.
So you want them darker, but
Yep.
if they're too far apart,
Yep.
they're not. You can see how this just moves from one color to another. If your colors are too far apart, they're not going to blend as nicely.
Right.
We're doing a lot of basics today, which is great, Penny.
Yeah. All right.
Let's see that card. I don't think I got it up close.
So this is what I call the classic brick.
I love that brick.
Yeah. And this is that E07. Let's see if I can get down. E07, E19, E09, and then the grout is that C1. The grout C3. And then I just use a little C3 to lighten it all up in the little spaces. But my favorite brick that I came across, I'm going to call it the vintage brick.
I was going to say rustic. Vintage is a good word.
Yeah, dirty. And this has the E19, the E17, the E15, the E13, and then what changes is that last one, the E43, and I got to show you. I got to show you. All right, so I have a little brick guy here.
Now, just as you're finding your brick guy, we had another question about the stamp set. It's available if you call us. We are probably going to sell out of it. We don't want to disappoint anybody. So it's not online. It's called St. Nick. You can call us and get it. It doesn't have dies. Penny just did fussy cutting. The ones that are cut out, she fussy cut. If you got good scissors, I like fussy cutting, Penny. It's relaxing.
It is.
Some people hate it. Some people love it. Probably some of you are indifferent. But that's what we're working on today. And it does not have a die set. But, it's got a little bird. But it does have 4 Santas. We weren't able to get more from our normal supplier. They had discontinued it, even though it's a brand new stamp and it's only October.
How does this
Penny
happen?
can't find her brick. What was it that we lost last week when you were here, Penny, that we searched for?
Oh, I know. Wait. Wait.
Oh, it's on her?
It's because it's being ready for something else. So here, we'll just leave it right here. We'll just take it out real quick. Okay. Because I'm going to show you another trick in a minute.
We love tricks.
Yep. All right. So I pulled out all my markers and I have them in order, and I'm going to use them darkest to lightest. This is one of those times. Yep, this is one of those times where you just want to do it. Okay, here we go. The first, that's E19, we're going to take the ideas and the shadow ideas that the artist in the stamp has given us. Yep. So I'm going to take my darkest one and I'm going to go over the line that they've given us, and every once in a while I'm going to add in another one.
Oh, so you're just randomly.
I'm randomly doing it.
Penny, did you just make this up?
I did. What I did was
amazing.
I looked at a picture, and they had these markers suggested, and I just replicated it. You won't get the same exact, but you're going to come close. The E17 is next. I'm going to just go right underneath it, right next to it. I'm going to create some more lines. It's all random, and that's what's so cool.
Penny, this is amazing.
You don't have to be an artist to figure this out.
Well, Penny, that to me is the idea of the markers. The alcohol ink, it doesn't leave lines. You know how you color in with regular markers and you get those lines. It flows together. You can do shading. You don't have to be an artist to color with these.
And if you go to Pinterest and you look up whatever you want to color, if you want to color, a duck, there's people out there that have suggestions on what colors you should use.
I have never looked on Pinterest for Copic colors.
And there's a whole Copic section, tab, for me anyway. And I'm just going back over, adding some more, adding to what's already there. And some bricks are now more colored in than others. Now I'm getting down to my lightest, my E13. And so, a lot of the bricks are going to be mostly covered now.
But not totally covered. We had a comment earlier that it's relaxing to watch Penny color. It's so true.
Today's happy bricks.
Happy bricks, like Bob Ross.
Yeah, happy trees.
Donna just made a comment. She says your coloring is amazing. And Donna, I totally agree.
Okay. So, but watch. What E43, this is a dull ivory.
E43.
And we're adding it to all of the brick.
Are you going over the whole brick?
Yep, the whole brick. And watch the colors change. This to me was like, this is melted butter right here.
We're seeing it change in front of our eyes, Penny.
And I didn't go as dark on this set than I sometimes do. But that's a neat thing about alcohol markers. You can always go back and add.
That's amazing. The fact that you started out with lines, I've never seen coloring like that before.
Well, you don't. Otherwise, you're just going to get rectangles. And unless that's the look you want, that's not what I wanted. I wanted bricks that were like worn. So I did the same thing with this one. I just used different colors.
Well, now we know the trick on coloring bricks. The trick for a brick.
Yep, the trick for a brick. And then the grout, you can do grout any color. I mean, I choose that kind of whitish, grayish, whatever. This one was a C3. This one was the W5. And then I chose like the brick color for underneath, and then C5, C7, and that's probably a W. So to me, because that's what I envision a chimney, or this is what I envisioned for a chimney.
And since we're talking chimneys, Penny, let's take a look at this one.
So this is what I would call more of a cobblestone, but I wanted to do something still different. So these are the warm grays, and it's very simple. It's just the W1, the W3, and the W5, and then the grout I went to the next one, W7.
And Penny, Wendy Jean has a suggestion. Sometimes she'll use colored pencils over it to add texture.
Oh yeah, I did last week with the white. I added the white in the plaid shirt. So if you go back and see that.
On our Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, colored pencils add a lot. I try not to do that because it's just one more step for some people.
And we will take pictures of Penny's cards, and she's always amazing. She provides these sheets with them, and we will also take pictures of this with the cards. So if you want to recreate her color combinations, no problemo.
Okay, so this one that you would grab, the cobblestone, has this ho 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 on it.
Oh, it
now,
does.
That's the stamp that comes with it, but I want you to see the stamp. The stamp is this, ho ho ho.
Horizontal.
So it comes horizontal. But this is how I figured out how to do vertical.
So this
easily.
This is going to be another wowzer tip from Penny.
Okay. So get out your Misty and put your little card down here in the corner. And I know this is the size of card I want, so that I'm dealing with the finished size. I put a piece of scratch paper over here because that's how I'm going to mask off the other two ho ho ho's.
Oh,
all right?
My gosh.
You ready for this?
I don't know, Penny. I don't
Now,
know.
here is a piece of plastic, and I've put my yellow tape on the top.
So you can find it?
Yes, and so that I know what always goes up.
Okay.
So then I'm going to put that here in my Misty, and I'm going to grab my stamp, which may or may not be clean. I'm going to position the stamp where I want it, and I don't have to worry about getting my paper dirty.
Oh,
okay.
Yes.
So then I'm going to put this stamp exactly where I want it. And close the door.
So this, you could use a piece of acrylic like we just showed everybody.
Yep. Then I'm going to take my acetate off.
Penny, where'd you learn this trick?
I think I just kind of created it myself.
I'm not surprised. It's a Penny
So,
engineer.
here's my ho-ho, my memento ho-ho for my ho-ho.
Your memento ho-ho.
I only need to stamp that last one. And I would never be able to do this free-handed, so I have to rely on my Misty. All right, then my stampendable that I would be using right there.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
So you got it right along
So
the
I
edge.
got it right along the edge. So then I grab my acetate. I protect my image. I take the stamp off. Then I reposition it where I want it. Close the door. Grab it. Lift off the acetate. Never have to worry about which side is clean, because I always know my tape side is clean. There's my hoe. Got a little heavy because I think it's my table.
Well, okay.
It's not the most ideal.
This is not a good stamping table. This is a plastic fold up table with folding legs, and it does have some give to it. So we don't recommend crafting on a table like this, and we appreciate you, Penny. putting up with it. But if you
Okay.
didn't know, we're getting
so I
set
did the
up
third
in the back.
one. Acetate down. Position my stamp. Grab it. Put the acetate over to the side. Always up so my ink doesn't get on anything else. Ink. Things fall down. Ink that
That's 'cause of our
hoe.
table. It's not very sturdy either.
Okay.
Penny, this is a wonderful tip. I love it.
Look at that.
So she went from the
Ho,
stamp,
ho,
the
ho.
stamp set that has a vertical ho, ho, ho to a horizontal. I mean,
Horizontal to
to vertical.
Because
But you could do
it's
the
a
same
very
thing, maybe.
small card, and I wanted a sentiment on it, so that's why I did ho, ho, ho.
And here's the card, everybody, all made up. And that's with that Yuletide, the 4x6 elements.
Yep.
Very, very nice, Penny. I love
Okay.
it.
All right. I'm going to leave that there so I don't lose the stamp, because that would be
That's a good idea.
All right. So, with the cars, I'm going to show you the car technique. I've showed you the brick technique. I've showed you the masking technique. Now I'm going
You
to
showed
color
us the beard technique.
Now I'm going to do a car. Okay? The car is really fun to color. And I saw where Tim's new stamp set that has a car in it, and it has an ornament in
We
it.
need one. I went to
And,
get one and I forgot. And we have no bell.
That
the
or
t-
Tim, the
it's-
Tim stamps,
Do
the
you not
Tim
have a chair?
stamps,
The stamp of Tim's car with Christmas stamp.
and then the other Santa. Yeah, and then the Santa. So Diane challenged me to do some Santas, Tim Santa,
Oh, well, that would be great.
and then I want to do the car because there's a car on there. So we're gonna take what we learned from this car, and we're gonna see if it applies to the little
To the
VW
Tim's car.
bug to Tim's.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna do the N series, the N3, 5, and 7. Oh, and here we go.
Thank you.
So here's
So,
Tim's.
so here's the stamp from Tim. It's called Home for Christmas, which I love the name of that. And there's the car Penny's talking about. And it also has words. It has lots of things here you could color,
I
Penny.
know. So,
So
get
Home
ready.
for Christmas. And then the Santa Claus is called Santa Visit, which is the perfect name. And that's the Santa that Diane would like Penny has challenged her to maybe use some of these same techniques.
All right. So I've grabbed my N3, and I'm gonna put a quick coat of
Is
ink.
this your light? Is that your lightest color?
This is my
Penny?
lightest color.
Okay.
And I'm just going to put a quick coat of ink down so that when I go to my medium tone, my N5, it's just going to kind of melt together. Just using that flicking technique. And I like to go over to the wheel.
And you went by a couple times.
Yep. All right, then I'm going to grab that N7, my darkest color, and I'm just going to add that little depth to the front. Not very far. Still kind of a flick. Now I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to grab the middle, the N3, bring out that dark a little bit more, go a little bit farther. And then we're going to grab the lightest, the N3, and we're going to go all the way. Let's go backwards. Let's go from the edge.
It's
over.
blending already, Penny.
Now we're going to grab the N5 to create a shadow right here at the door.
Oh my gosh.
Then we're going to grab that N3.
So you're kind of leaving the middle becomes kind of your lightest part, doesn't
Yep.
it?
Mm-hmm. Same thing with the door. That N3 all the way across.
Now we're coloring a happy car.
Happy cars. I tell you what, I had fun coloring the car.
You don't have many images that are large like this. It seems like a lot of the stamps that we color here at Memory Bound, the images are smaller, and I think that's why I love the stamp set, because Santa is really bigger than what you normally expect.
The N5, same thing. Start here. And we're going to go ahead and do that shadow over there. Got the 5 out. I put the lids back on just so that I keep making sure I have the right marker.
It's a good tip.
If you see me in person coloring, they usually end up in my hand.
Yes, I've seen that, Penny. Now here at Memory Bound, we do carry all of the Copic marker colors, and we just got an order in, I think.
Yes, we did.
So
Thursday.
we should have everything in stock.
And if you need your Copics cleaned and refilled, I do offer that outside of work hours. Take it home and weigh it and
It's
clean
Penny's,
it for
it's
you.
her extra gig.
Or if there's something wrong with your marker, your nibs need to be replaced, I can take care of that. So, that back panel, same thing.
It's just amazing how it blends and how it's not flat looking. You don't have the lines that you have in regular markers. And I think if we show you this one here, you can really see the color differences. And here's the green car that she colored. They're just really cute. And I got a card from Penny recently. And Penny, thank you again, because
you're very welcome.
she colored it, and I had
Well,
to look.
I had to color it.
I know, but Penny, honestly, I had to look at it twice because I saw it and I'm like, oh gosh, did Penny color that? Oh, wait a minute, I'm not sure, but she did, and it was really, really nice. And Janet just linked a blog that has a list of starter markers. So if you're wanting to get started with Copic coloring, and you can go to our blog and search on Penny, and you'll see a lot of different demos using the markers and lots of color combinations.
It's all about the combination. Once you have the secret, coloring just makes it that much easier and that much faster and not as much frustration on your part.
Well, and I think if you try something, if you don't like it, you do something different, right? It's
Right,
just paper.
absolutely. Oh, Lord knows there's enough Copic scraps in my garbage. And I'm the first to admit that I look up combinations. What have other people already tried, and do I like it? If I don't like it, you don't see it. It's got to pass the Penny approval. All right, so the doors are done. I think Janine would like this car. Now I'm going to grab that N7. I'm going to start working from the top down. The shadow of the tree would create a darker look on top and under. And we're just going to go a little bit. Then we're going to take that N5 and we're going to stretch it, and we're going to go a long way down because we're going to bring that dark color down a bit, and then we're just going to naturally go down. And I'm going to go all the way down to his mustache and do in here, and then I'm going to do in there because it's not big enough to worry about. Bring this darker color down almost all the way. Grab the N3 and continue bringing it down. Bring this color down, join it at the car base.
So is this is the one you're doing, isn't it, Penny?
Yep. Yep.
Very cool.
And then you've got that N3. You could just go ahead and do your running board. Correct any mistakes that you've maybe gone over.
Oh, yeah.
You could do N3 here in the middle. You could go really dark. Let's grab that N9 or N7. And I'm kind of doing this on the fly here. N5 or N7 in the middle. And then let's make the N5 the darkest part of the wheel. And let's have the darkest part. Seems like I go from the outside in. That's kind of what I like the best. So I'm just going to outline the outside of the tire. Then I'm going to grab that N3 really quick, and I'm going to wash that color. And the N3 is going to take some of that color and shove it back to the edge. What you doing over there, Gloria? So I'm going to wash it, get rid of that line. That color is pushing it out to the edge. And it's going to create a circle with the dark edge. So again, we did the 5 on the outside. And this goes with any grays. Like if you wanted to do a W5 or a T5 or a C5, the same thing would do it. The N3. And then we just go around. Oh yeah,
my
you can
gosh,
see this.
that's amazing.
You can see that. And to me, that looks like a tire.
When you add the shading, it really does give your images dimension, and it makes them look like, I mean, more real. Obviously, this is not a real image.
Now that
but
N3 in the middle was maybe a little bit too dark, since I kind of went over it again. You can always grab your colorless blender, your 0, and you can go over it. It's going to take more of that ink color off, and it's going to be lighter. And you can already tell it's already lighter. So the shading with the car, each panel,
it looks great. It looks really, really good, Penny.
So you've got brick, you've got car, which would be what, like aluminum?
So we've done brick.
Now underneath the car, you're going to want to ground it. So this car is actually on the road, and so there's a little bit of grounding. This one, I just put in like tire lines.
Oh,
very
like
little.
that. Yeah.
Very little. The bird, the presents, those are any colors. Just take, like on the blue, a light and a dark. The pink, a light and a darker. The bird, you can do it brown. You can do it any color. This one's a light color. Just make the beak a color, and then the hat, I did 2 colors. Don't forget the eyes on the bird. And then what I did was, here's the Peace Santa with the burgundy color. And then this is the same Yuletide paper. Very simple, a little sentiment on the bottom.
But Penny pointed out to me that he's making the peace sign.
Yeah, he's the
and
Peace
on
Santa.
Earth is kind of the groovy Santa.
He's grounded with like a BV23. That's a really good color to ground with, the blue violet. So then I took all of the characters, and I don't get any credit for this layout. I saw this layout online.
Penny, this is amazing. This is like the bonus, the very...
Yeah. So you have streaks in the mustache. You have dots on the fur. You have dots in the snow. Streaks, dots in the snow. All of the colors are all coordinated. So the brick of the chimney is the color of the car.
I think that's why it looks so good. And that she's using the simple vintage Yuletide.
Okay.
It's the 4x6 elements.
Now in this,
you're using
I used the Holly Jolly.
Oh, this is Holly Jolly. Okay.
Yeah, this is the Holly Jolly. The green and red ledger. It's the ledger, the garland, and the holly. And then the other side is more of a dot. And I use both. So I use the dot, the ledger, the dot, the ledger, the ledger. So I mixed them up, used both sides. And then
It's
the
Penny,
fun.
it's darling.
The
Everybody's
holiday
loving
fun.
it.
So this was a brighter combination. That's a more...
Here, I'm going to back up so you can see them both. They're both from Simple Stories, and they're both simple vintage. So one is Holly Jolly, and one is Yuletide.
Yep. I did both lines, and then I did this for the layout. So
and then you just stamped around the edge?
I did.
Oh, my gosh.
So, and it really works out great. So this is a 12 by 12 page. This is a 5 by 5 middle. The squares are 2.5 square. I cheated. I used a 10.5. I used a 10.5 inch wide.
It looks like 10.5 because this looks like about 3/4.
10.5 inch wide square piece of extra white paper, and I lined it on the edge. I lined my squares up on the edge, and I eyeballed the difference. And then I left this to the side. I knew where it was going to go.
Oh,
then I stamped it in case I made a mistake, and I changed the stamps up. So it's making spirits bright, but up here it's ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, it's just random.
It's just random. And I wanted it all to go in. So this side, I stamped it with the stamps up here, the stamps up here, the stamps up here, and then I moved the stamps down to do this. And I just kept moving them around.
It's really cute. Everybody is loving this.
When I had that done, then I put the 10.5 inch square piece of paper down on top of it, and that makes it so much easier.
Janet said she thought that was a very clever idea.
Well, that way it kind of lines up better. I don't like eyeballing.
Otherwise, you're not trying. Right. It looks perfect. It looks like it's perfectly square.
My black Le Pen squiggles, on purpose, imperfect, because it's just so whimsical.
It is. The stamp set is very whimsical, and that is the stamp set that Penny used is Saint Nick from Creative Expressions. We have very limited supply. Our vendor has discontinued it. I don't know that I can get it anywhere else. We have a few left. You can call us if you'd like it. It's not online, but just give us a call. We've got it here, and it's $20.99, and it is amazing. It's got 3 Santas on it. It's got verbiage. You've got the little bird, the presents. It's a great stamp set. I was very sorry, Penny, that we couldn't order more.
Yeah, the store may lose its copy.
Maybe. Well, and nice job. It looks so wonderful. All of your coloring is great, and Penny, we appreciate it. We know you spend time. She's made us cheat sheets. She could do just this for us, you guys, but she doesn't. She does. She types up these sheets for us, and I'll take pictures of everything, and we'll get that to you. And then we have a question about the Tim Holtz Halloween Sparkle. We had it this morning, but we only had 3 left, so I guess just give us a call here at Memory Bound. If it's not showing up online, then it is out of stock. The other thing is we have our free magazine, While Supplies Last, with a $50 purchase.
Oh, I gotta hurry and do
check
shopping.
that out and get one of those. And then our Halloween is 30% off. So speaking of Halloween, and this is not Halloween on the inside. Teresa was telling me there's a lot of...
Oh my gosh, Valentine's.
We're not ready for that, are we? It's
Look at that Valentine's,
it's a really
Christmas.
nice full color magazine with a little bit of everything.
Winter, fall.
And that is
all
free
in
with
there.
a $50 purchase before shipping or before tax. And then Halloween, Penny, is coming up, and our Halloween category is 30% off. So it's
awesome. Thank you.
It's a great day to save, lots of treats. And tomorrow we're going to be back, and we're going to tell you about some of the things going on with our holiday open house.
Woo!
I think that's what's on the calendar tomorrow.
Probably.
So anyway, we'll see you then, everyone. Thank you,
you.
Penny.